Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to DRC Digital Racing Championship for our first round of our new championship here at DRC, the GT4 World Series. I am your commentator, Deathling10, finally back from a long hiatus from commentary, because I've been racing, but we're now back on Assetto Corsa, and we will be getting underway shortly. We're just waiting for everyone to join in to a 10-minute practice session. And while that happens, I will explain what's going to be happening over quite the few months, if everything goes to plan. So hopefully everyone can hear me okay, and I will get the game on screen shortly once I've explained everything that's going on. So let me just grab our things. So first of all, GT4 Racing. I'm sure a lot of people know what that is. It's actually surprisingly entertaining. I'm a big fan of GT4 cars. They're very pretty, very nice cars, and they look brilliant going around a track. So it should be really fun for everyone to be watching. So the championship will be consisting of a lot of races. I didn't count them because that would have been a sensible decision, but I can tell you right now. So we're going to be doing, as it says at the top of the show, it is a world GT4 Championship, the World Series. So we're going to be starting in America. We're going to be doing 5 races in America, with Road America being our first one today. Then we head off to Daytona, then into Lagos, then the Virginia International Raceway, and then we finish the American Championship in Road Atlanta. So that is our American portion of the championship. We then move to the Asian Championship, which is we start in Suga, then Ring Montegi. I probably am butchering these names, I do apologize. Then Sepang, Suzuka, and then Fuji. Then once we've done the Asian Championship, we head off to Australia for Albert Park, Phillip Island, Mallah Park, Sandown, and Bathurst. Then we head to the British portion of the championship, Silverstone, Outlet Park, Sneaterton, Donington, and Brands Hatch. The European calendar, Hungaroring, Barcelona, Istanbul Park, Hockenheim, Misano, and our Middle Eastern and African Championship will finish the GT4 World Series in Bahrain, Kailami, Yas Marina, Dhabi Autodrome, and the Qatar International Circuit. Um, and that is a quite a long calendar. It's planning to end in January of next year. So we're going to be here for quite some time, but it's going to be a lot of fun getting there. So everyone is just jumping into the practice session at the moment. I do have Twitch open, so I can see chat to make sure everything is working properly, which I believe it is. So this has been a lot of work to set this up. So hopefully everything goes off without a hitch. But knowing DRC and knowing some things in this world, it probably won't all go off without a hitch. Something will probably break, um, and I will try and keep everyone updated to make sure it doesn't break. Um, and yeah, we're just sorting everything out at the moment. I think I've explained everything as well, so I think we're just currently trying to set the server up, which is always a bit fun. It's a bit of a problem, but I'm sure it's being worked on as we speak. So I'll quickly just talk you through the Road America track. There are 14 turns here at Road America, and it's actually quite the entertaining circuit. Not the longest in the world, but definitely not going to take us all day. Uh, we will be running a 18-minute qualifying session, uh, followed by a 15-lap race. And there should be, if we have the amount of people we said we're going to have, 23 cars lining up on the grid. Because it's going to be a bit mad, to be honest with you. 23 cars, me trying to commentate into turn one, it's all going to go wrong quite quickly, I can imagine. We're just kind of sorting out a penalty issue with the server. Assetto Corsa servers do sometimes have their problems, but they're currently being worked on and monitored as we speak. Just making sure everything is working correctly on the stream side of things, which as it stands, it is working absolutely perfectly. Once again, I haven't set up anything wrong. So we are still just waiting to jump everyone in. I think people are jumping in now, so I will also be jumping in, and then we'll just still wait. I haven't explained the point system yet. That is on my list of things to do. The point system for the entire series, unless series is correct, unless we get some big drops in attendance, we were running the from position 1 to position 20, you will score points with P1 scoring 25, 22, 20, 18, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 from 1st to 20th. It's a very simple point system. If it changes, of course, I will let you know when it changes. But at the moment, nothing like that is changing. So right now the practice lobby, well, the server is back up and people will be joining the practice lobby. We just had to turn off the real penalty mod because for some reason it didn't like to work. It's fine. It's not a major issue. It just means the stewards have more work to do. So that's fine. Again, that's not a problem that was foreseen, but it's a problem that's happened. Something else that I'd just like to say to everyone watching is I put all the skins in this morning for the GT cars. Everyone has their own livery for their GT cars. They should all be working. If one is not working, don't blame me. Blame Assetto Corsa. That's what I'm going to say. Server is going to be restarted one more time. Just bear with us, everyone. We do apologize for the amount of restarts we're having. But it's not in our own hands as it stands. We're just trying to deal with all the problems. But problems do occur, unfortunately, when you're trying to set up a big new series like this. So when the server is restarted, again, we will hopefully have that be the last server restart of the day. And we will actually get into some qualifying racing. So the only thing I've got to say on my end of things is there's a thing on the Assetto Corsa game where around this track, for some reason, when you go down the pit straight and certain corners where crowds are, they will cheer you and they will cheer the drivers and clap and whatever. And it is very annoying. I will try and talk over them, but if you hear that, I do apologise. There's nothing I can do about it. So hopefully that shouldn't be too distracting for you. My voice is distracting enough, I know. So we are now loading back into the lobby to get back underway. Common real penalty L. Yep, it's a common issue. The real penalty mod does seem to just not work most of the time. It didn't work a lot when we did ACF1 either. Actually, I don't think it worked at all when we did ACF1. Anyway, that doesn't matter because we are now finally going to be getting into the race. Well, into the qualifying for the race. We have some obviously familiar names that you'll recognize from our F1 series. You can find us at DRC, Digital Racing Championship, and you can find us on YouTube as well, where I assume all of these will be going up on YouTube. I'll be surprised if they're not. I've just got to turn off auto camera, and then we are all set to go here. So people are joining the practice lobby. I will get this on screen for everyone now to see. Just while everyone is joining, so you can see the session. Where is the button? There is the button. See that one? It's one of these. There we go. I thought it would work eventually. There we go. We are now on screen, and we are here. If you can hear the game, tell me. If not, well, you won't be able to hear it right now because I got to turn it back on. But there you go. Now you should be able to hear it. If you can hear the crowd clapping, that is nothing I can do about that. But you can't hear it on board, so we'll ride on board for a bit. So there we go. These lovely GT cars, all with their own specially designed liveries. will be seeing those throughout the races. I'm sure we will be seeing those. But yeah, a lot of drivers will be driving today. It's going to be a bit chaotic, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to keep up with it, but I will try my best for everyone to keep up with it. So we're just on board now with Door to Door as he drives this very nice road to the Americas. Our first of the American portion of our GT4 World Series. It's a very heavy braking zone here. Do have the track map up, so I will be able to walk you through a lap when we get to it. Still just waiting for everyone to jump in. Oh, that's the wrong button. I do apologise. I will be pressing buttons probably wrongly at certain points. Wrongly, that's a word. Don't Google it. It's a word. Go doors livery as we come down the back straight. It's a very anime style. I quite like it, to be honest with you. It's very nice. So yeah, showing the outlap there. It's about a 2-minute 40 outlap on these cars. We should be getting obviously further down that once we get some proper flying laps going. But taking the wide line through turn 1 there, I wouldn't say that's exactly the optimal line through that corner, but you know, who am I to judge? I'm just the commentator. I wouldn't know what the right line is to go through that corner. I don't drive these cars. As much as I enjoy racing, GT racing is not my thing personally in terms of speed, but it is these guys' things. We saw a lot of these guys in the, if you remember, quite a while ago now, we did the, what was it called? It was another racing series we did that wasn't on Assetto, was on Assetto Corsa. I can't remember what it was. Someone remind me in chat what it was. But yeah, no, it was very entertaining, that racing series. I really enjoyed it. And we had a lot of these guys race in there as well. Jacob, Scrub, Edgin, Door, Racing Mouse, Morris. All of these guys we've seen race a lot. A few names I don't recognise who are just starting to racing today. So that'll be very interesting to see how they do. BTCC, that was it. Thanks, Mouse. Yeah, BTCC, that was it. So that was another racing series we had before. It must have been a few months ago now. We didn't we stopped doing that, but yeah, very good racing series. Enjoyed that a lot. So now we're back with some more Assetto Corsa racing. People wanted to do more Assetto Corsa for a long time in DRC, and obviously we give what the people want. And also at the moment, the current F1 game is, let's say, not in the best state of anything at all. So we're playing good old Assetto Corsa, which clearly, as we can prove by the start of this stream, has no problems at all. So we are we are getting underway shortly. 3 minutes left for this session. We currently have 18 of the scheduled 23 drivers in today. Remember, the top 20 score points here, so keep an eye out for the top 20. I might have to extend this. I don't know if it's going to have all of the names on it. Didn't think about that. It might only have up to 20 drivers. I will just give me a second, everyone. You will see a config on the screen. I don't think there's actually no. That's fine. It fills out. I remember because it's actually a decent one, unlike the other one. So it should fill it all out. Striker Boy in there is the number 20 on the grid. Well, he's the number 5, but he's 20th in the standings as it stands. Haha, funny. Full of jokes today, guys. It has been a while since I've done commentary, so do bear with me sometimes. Here we see Dawn looking very nice in his... I can't remember what type of car that is. I'm trying to realise. Yeah, car names I will try and get right. I think it's a Subaru. Nice and blue, actually. Very nice livery on that car. Lovely in anime style. Love it. So with just 2 minutes to go in this little practice session, just to allow everyone to get into the lobby, we will have, hopefully, Toyota Subaru. I knew it was a Subaru. I said it under my breath because I didn't want to sound like an idiot. But I knew it was a Subaru. I remembered it looked like it. It's good. Ah, yes, because it's there. Yes, I get it now. I get why the livery's there as well. See, like, it's all coming back to me. Eventually, guys, I'll get used to this. I've got a lot of races to get used to this. There's a big race calendar coming up. Apparently, this won't end till January. We're going to be here forever. No, we're not really. This is going to be. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and I really hope you guys will enjoy it with me. And hopefully, I'll make the experience even more enjoyable than it already will be. So 21 now in. Pockets being the most recent arrival into the lobby. Door crosses the line. We'll go fourth fastest. Yeah, so we're looking around 2 minutes 17. Probably few people can go a bit faster. I wouldn't say many. 2:16 there. There we go. 2:16.0 for Edgin. Well, Edgin's on pole. You always tend to expect it. He's quite a good pole man, Edgin. I won't lie. They're the same thing. Don't correct me on the same. They're the same car. You know what I mean. That clapping actually isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought the clapping was going to be really annoying, but I think I could just talk over it, so it's all good. They're just really like excited to see their drivers. That's all it is. Morris, they're in the. I do know this one. It's the McLaren. It's a very nice Golf livery McLaren. Probably one of the nicest ones actually on the grid, in my opinion. Morris been practicing, well, this morning, that's for sure. He's probably been practicing a lot more than that. But I saw him practicing this morning when I was testing some things for today's stream. And, you know, he was looking pretty pacey. He's up there at the moment in third as the practice session draws to a close. A lot of people in the pits just waiting for the start of our first race. And a lot of people pulling up now, I imagine, to retire. Misty there coming across the line as well. In one of the Mustangs, I believe. I think that's a Chevy, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously another McLaren there, and Fake also driving today. Fake is driving the Mercedes. Lovely livery on the Mercedes as well. Some really nicely designed liveries. I'm glad people spent time doing these. And Raid in a chrome McLaren. Very chrome McLaren indeed. Gotta love the Vodafone former F1 livery. One of my favourite liveries, actually, from back in the day. So as the practice session draws to close, we'll be heading into 18 minutes of qualifying, followed by, obviously, a 15-lap race. Chaos will ensue as as 21 drivers take the starting grid. But we've got to get to qualifying first. And who will be at the front of that 21 car mess? And who will make it out of that 21 car mess? That is another good question. Probably not a lot of them. Probably a lot of them will end up in the barrier, as they're going to do an episode of Into the Barrier. That's a very nice livery on the car there. Love it. I love a black and red livery. Two of my favourite colour designs. Work really well together. It's coming now just through, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's turn 11. Now coming through the turns 12 and turn 13, if I've got my corners correct, which I might have done. And there is turn 14 and the Road America Straight. So yeah, only 14 turns here. So not too many corners to deal with, but some heavy braking zones, some good opportunities to do some overtaking, as we still just wait for the start of the qualifying session. as as he parks up there in a lovely position. Stouty to the driving around in his very bright blue McLaren. I don't know why these drivers can't just retire and we can get into the race. Personally, are they all completing laps, I assume? Is there a reason for this? Oh, there we go. As I complain, things change around, and we are about to head into our first qualifying session for the DRC GT4 World Series, obviously starting in the American section of the championship. With 21 drivers as it stands. I think there's going to be 22. There might be 22, but it doesn't appear to be on the list of 22. I might change that for the next race if there is 22, but they're not appearing up on the left. But anyway, enough about technicalities, enough about technical issues. We're going to get some actual qualifying here, we hope. And we can see all the cars lined up there on the on the right hand side, sorry. As the clapping is, they're really cheering on. They love the people in the pit lane. Someone reset the pit in the session. That is against the rules. I read the rules and regulations. Scrub's just telling people about it. I read the rules. They're very interesting. If you have a chance to read them, for it's it's a lovely read. The rules and regulations. $10 if Edgen bins it. $10 to who? I would take that bet. Nah, Edgen's not going to bin it. He's class. Well, most of the time. To me, $10 to me if Edgen bins it. Well, I have beaten him on occasion. Maybe I can get another one up on him. We'll see. I'll tell you after qualifying. Well, anyway, the first car out in this session is MKL. Obviously, we know him very well from his F1 driving. Very quick F1 driver. Let's see if he's a quick GT4 driver. So we're going to be taking you around MKL's first flying lap here. Just on his out lap currently. The bottom left should tell you what the lap time is. When it finishes, it's a bit buggy. It's another bug issue that we can't solve. We didn't even solve it when we did ACF1. But anyway, I'll just try and keep you posted on how the lap's doing. It should be fine. We'll see. MKL, another lovely livery on his car. I'm going to have some real trouble telling these cars apart, but I'm sure it's not going to be the end of the world. Lovely engine sounds on these cars as well. Got a big fan of the engine noises. So we're just going to take on board with MKL. So we can see what the driver is seeing as he will begin the first flying lap. It's a very fast circuit, obviously very close to the walls at any opportunity. One little mistake, and you're going to end up in a wall. And trust me, you don't want to end up in that wall. Mostly because you're going to screw over your own lap, and secondly, you're probably going to screw over someone else's lap. But MKL about to be set down the bench marker lap for everyone to chase. And what will that bench marker lap be as it begins down the back straight here at the Road America straight. So, full throttle to the line as we're heading towards turn 1. Now you want to get a heavy braking zone for turn 1, aiming obviously for the apex here. So he's down the gears, really pulling the tyres in, keeping it not on the track, but sends it now into the tiny kink of turn 2 before the big right-hander of turn 3. And then back on the power for the small kink of turn 4 as we head under the under the cheese truck as I'm going to be calling it now. Now down the next long back straight before the sweeping turn 5 hairpin, 90-degree corner here, as he sets that very nicely indeed. Now down the next little back straight before the right-hander of turn 7. He's gone... No, that's right. No, he's gone left. Oh my god, I'm a track ahead. It's all good. So down the next straight, I was a corner ahead. Anyway, so that was turn 7. We're now down the next back straight, heading towards turn 8. Another very tight 90-degree corner for the carousel of turns 9 and 10. And then back on the power out of turn 10. Heading towards the bend of turn 11 and the little kink, which heads you down the straight of the Kettle Bottoms into the very walled section, and very tight section indeed. Can get 2 wide down here, probably get 3 wide, but I wouldn't recommend it entirely as we head for the Canada corner, another 90-degree right-hander. As he just hits the apex there, runs a bit wide, he's going to hit the grass on the exit. As we're heading through Thunder Valley and through turn 13 here. Looking nicely through turn 13 before the final corner of turn 14. And back on the power to see what lap time you've done. MKL going to be the first one to set a competitive lap time here. He crosses the line, and it is a 2:17.3. Edgin will be the next man to cross the line. Let's see what lap time he can pull. As he crosses the line now, it's a 2:15.4. Very good lap time. Here comes Ari now to cross the line. 2:18. Pocket does a 2:19. There's a crash towards the back there. I don't know who that was involved. We'll see if we can see. His racing mouse has gone off. 7 goes 4 fastest with a 2:17.8. And Vlad goes 7th with a 2:19.1. People change positions all the time. Morris goes 5th with a 2:17.9. Dorr goes 8. Well, goes 7th briefly, but then goes down to 8 for the 2:18. 7 does a 2:17.8. Scrub goes onto the front row with a 2:16.1. Right now, Edgin out on his own with a 2:15.4. Very, very competitive lap time indeed from the man that always seems to set a good pole position time. As I think he's even improving his time as we speak in the BMW. Lovely car as well for Edgin here. He's very competitive, as we know, in both F1 and in Assetto Corsa. So at the moment, he's obviously the man to beat, as he tends to be in most things you race him in. Got to be very careful. So the question now is, can he beat his own lap time here? As some people still haven't set their competitive lap time. Jacob, Misty, and Fake not done their lap time. As Jacob, as I say that, jumps up to P5 here with a 2:17.7. A lot of the rest of the grid not split by a lot. As Edgin is, I believe, still improving his lap time here. Can he go even faster, or is he just going to dive straight into the pits? He might not have enough fuel to get round otherwise. So we will see how this goes. Coming down the back straight, he is going to finish this lap, so we're just going to see what he does. No, he pulls into the pits, deciding that it is not worth finishing the lap time. Does make sense. 10 minutes 50 on the clock. As other people are coming towards the end of their first laps out on the circuit and will be boxing. Some people will be finishing their previous laps. Ari goes onto the second row, goes 3rd fastest. Here comes Raid now. Where can he put his McLaren? It's only 6th. Doesn't improve at all at the moment. Vlad does improve to 10th, beating out Dorr, who pulls into the pits. Hull doesn't go any faster. Can Fake go any faster? He can't. 7 puts himself into 4th as Morris puts himself into 3rd, beating out both Ari and 7. It's people moving up all the time. Mouse improves as well. A lot of people improving here after doing their second flying laps. Still 9 minutes to go. There's a lot that can still change around. Right now, Edgens still has daylight between him and a lot of it. Edgens' fastest lap time, a 2:15.4. Scrub, who's currently on the front row with him, a 2:16.1. No competition there at all, as it stands. And the Audi of Scrub, very nice Audi indeed. Love that livery as well. Scrub just behind another car at the moment. I'm sure he's not improving his time. He's 32 thousandths down on his previous lap time. Doesn't mean he's not improving. Just got a car in front of him that's giving him, I'd say, more of a blocking than a tow. But the car does let him past eventually. Scrub continues on his way. Vlad, as it stands, not inside the top 10 at the moment. Obviously, it's the top 20 that will be scoring points. Striker Boy yet to do a lap here. One of only 2 drivers yet to do a lap, Stouty being the other one. Striker Boy in that McLaren, I believe. And he hasn't done a flying lap. As it stands, MKL pops himself into 4th, ahead of 7 and Ari, and just behind Morris, Scrub, and Edgin. So Raid coming around the final corner now as well. Will he be improving his lap time? He's coming up to the line in his McLaren. Can he put himself maybe onto the front row of the grid alongside Edgin? He crosses the line now, and he puts himself 6th fastest ahead of Ari, but not anywhere near the front row. A few people coming out for their next set of flying laps. Scrub, on the other hand, was improving his lap time when we last saw him. Can he improve it enough to take pole position off Edgin? Crosses the line. He's only 4 tenths down. He's into the 115, sorry, the 215s, but not near enough Edgin for his liking. He's going to have to go again. Jacob as well, currently being, I'd say, blocked on his on his next flying lap attempt. I think that is Striker Boy is in front of him. So Jacob, yeah, miles down on his previous lap time, so he is not improving. He is currently 8th on the grid. Racing Mouse also with a car in front of him, looking to improve his own time. Racing Mouse, I remember doing quite well in BTCC last year. Was it last year? It must have been last year. God, time flies. So Mouse, can he improve his first sector? He's got that car in front of him. He's lost a lot of time. He's down by quite a bit. Striker Boy, on the other hand, I think will be finishing his first flying lap, or going for his first one. We'll find out what it is. Crosses the line, goes 18th with a 2:21.4. He'll definitely want to improve on that. Fake not improving. Door is on a flying lap right now. We're real cheese people. Turns out they are, apparently, according to that sign, so I guess you've got to trust them. Door into the very heavy braking at a 90 degree. You can see his wheel. He's trying to lock. He's basically full left lock there to try and make the corner. Did not slow down enough at all and has lost him quite a lot in the middle sector. Scrub, on the other hand, is... Oh, sorry. Scrub, on the other hand, is back out, but he is currently on his out lap. So we will see what he can do when he starts his next flying lap with 6 minutes to go. Edgin not coming out of the pits. Maybe he thinks his lap time is unbeatable. It's a shame, Kai, but you'll be here for the next race, I'm sure, my friend. Raid pops himself into 3rd, puts himself onto the 2nd row. Where can Morris? Morris will want to say something about that. Where can he put his McLaren? And it's going to be 3rd, back onto that 2nd row, not into the 215s as it stands. Those 215s only for 2 people at the moment, Scrub and Edgin. Scrub pulling into the pits, maybe just to get a quick recon lap before his final attempt. Ari was also very quick in BTCC and in ACF1, so it'll be interesting to see where he can put his car in the first round of the GT4 World Series in the American Championship. So I think we're going to ride on board with Ari for his flying lap. If we can find a good onboard slot, we can find a passenger seat and we can watch it from the passenger seat. So aiming into turn 1 here. You want to aim for the apex. He's done that very nicely. He's run quite a bit wider than you probably would want to, but he gets a decent exit. As we're now heading for turn 2 and now turn 3. So we're heading down the back straight into the slight kink of turn 4 under the cheese bridge. It's a long old straight this before heading into a 90-degree left-hander for turn 5. You want to hit this absolutely perfectly. He's got 2 cars ahead of us here, but it shouldn't affect us too badly. He's missed the apex by a country mile, but I think that's the quickest way through that corner. What's his middle sector like? It's about 4/10 down on what he probably would, well, on pole position, but he's not aiming for pole today. He'll probably be aiming for nearer the front row. So we're now down the next back straight, heading towards turn 8, where there will be another car directly in front of us. So aiming for the apex of the left-hander there, running wide, but keeps it nice and neat, and heading through the carousel of turn 9 and coming out into turn 10. And then for turn 11, the little kink before the kettle bottoms, sort of sweeping left and right-handers through the middle sector of the circuit. He's looking for a 1:36.8 if he wants a challenge of pole position. He does a 1:38.3, about 1.4 seconds down. So he's not really improving his lap time here with 3 minutes 20 on the clock. Ari not looking like he's going to improve at all here. He might be able to put it into P6, but he might back out this lap. He looks like he might have done. We're going to abandon watching him. He looks like he has abandoned this lap. And he goes again. So there's a few other people coming, doing lap times. Morris is currently out on a lap. Once again, aiming for that 90-degree corner. You've got to aim for the apex and accelerate out of it, like you do at most apexes of corners. What's Morris's middle sector? It's 2/10 up on Edgin's middle sector. Now that is interesting. I think actually the first sector, sorry. Very interesting indeed. Morris finding pace in his McLaren here with 2 minutes 30 on the clock. Morris looking to claim the first pole position of the championship here at the Road America. It's not the Road of America, it's Road America. Anyways, he comes through turns 9 and 10 before heading to the kink of turn 11 and heading for the middle sector. Can Morris keep up this very hefty improvement? He's 2,000th down on Edgin's lap time. This is going to be very interesting indeed as he comes towards the final sector of the circuit. He's lost, I'd say, a bit of time there. He's going to run really wide indeed. See if he can keep the momentum, keep the pace. With 1 minute 30 on the clock, Edgin has come out. And maybe even Morris's dreams of pole will be shattered if Edgin can do another lap time. Scrub also a man to improve his lap time. Morris all over the road in this final sector. I don't know if he's done enough to improve. Can he put himself onto the front row, or can he put himself onto pole position? He comes across the line now, and it's the front row. He's missed out by 4/10 of a second. He lost it all in that final sector. But Morris onto the front row there with a 2:15.9 as Edgin is out again. A lot of improvement going on all up and down the grid. I'll try and keep you up with everything I can, as MKL was the first driver we saw, and he's now the driver we're looking at right now. So Edgin is still the man on pole by about 4/10 of a second. Main challengers at the moment seem to be Morris and Scrub, but they need to find a good lap time, and Scrub won't be able to come out. He's out of qualifying. He's still in the pits with 30 seconds left on the clock. That is the end of his qualifying session, so he will start a minimum of P3. Edgin and Morris are both out, and there's other people improving their laps. Let's have a look at MKL's middle sector. It's about a 10th down on what Edgin could do. It's very tight indeed. The question is Edgin going to make it to the line in time to start his final flying lap? He's cutting it a bit tight here, and I don't think he will make it. You know what? He won't. That is the end of his qualifying as it goes. The timer hits 0. And Edgen will cross the line, and that will be qualifying over for him unless he's allowed to set a lap time. He might be able to set a lap time because he was out on track. Morris is going a lot slower. He's not improving his lap time. MKL was still improving his lap time. His middle sector, he's lost a lot of time in the middle sector. He's about 9/10 down on pole position. Not good at all here for MKL. He was doing so well in that first couple of stints. But it's not all worked out for him in this final couple of sectors. Can he find enough pace, though, to put himself a bit further up? He's got to find 4/10 to put himself fourth, but he backs out a lap and pits. That is the end of his qualifying session. Well, at Raid in a bunch of traffic. No way he's going to improve his lap time. Ari is not improving as well. Edgin not improving either. So I think as it stands, as Ari's... Oh, someone's backwards there. Someone has hit the wall. I think that could be Striker Boy. I didn't see who it was, and it is Striker Boy, and he hit the wall, and that is his qualifying over. And I think as it stands, Edgen is on pole position. Mouse all over the road there. What is Mouse's middle sector? Not anywhere near what Edgen's is. And I think Edgen is on pole for the Road America here in the first round of the GT4 World Series in the Americas Championship. Very entertaining first qualifying session with your top 3 being Edgen, Morris and Scrub. Morris just edging out Scrub at the end of the session, but Edgen was unstoppable. 1 lap was all he needed. That's all he was getting. Magical first lap time and a magical pole position. There's a few other people improving their lap times. Leo's just into the pits now. He's not improving. Fake, on the other hand, he's got to find a couple of corners to go, but he's very much down on his lap time. He's not going to improve from there. Stouty, another one who's also down on his lap time, so he's not improving. Ari did cross the line, but I think that is the end of his qualifying. Stouty not improving. No one really improving their lap times, and Edgen is on pole for the first time this season. Pole number 1 goes to Edgen himself, with Morris on the front row, Scrub, Raid, MKL7, Ari, Jacob, Racing Mouse, and Vlad, your top 10. And that is how qualifying will end here. As we now head into a 15-lap race. And it's going to be, well, let's be honest. There's only one car is making it out of turn 1. So let's see how this one goes. 15 laps stand between us and our first podium finishers for the GT4 World Series. Chaos is about to ensue. Yep, 2 hours on a Assetto course, a solid lap, a solid time, mate. Solid time. Definitely all you need. So 22 cars are about to line up for what will be a thrilling first race, I'm sure, or it's all going to end in turn 1. We're going to find out in a couple of seconds' time when everyone that was still out is coming into the pits. I think we're just waiting on Ari now. Yeah, Ari just coming around the final couple of corners with this lovely Sainsbury's livery. I've just seen it. Good job, Ari. That's a very nice livery. And Ari into the pit. So everyone is into the pits. And as I said, that will end qualifying for the first time in GT4 racing for us in the Americas Championship, round 1. So as I said, Edgen, Morris, and Scrub your top 3, with Raid, MKL7, Ari, Jacob, Mouse, and Vlad your top 10. As we now head for a starting grid order and a starting race. I'm not sure if there's a formation lap. I'm sure someone could tell me in chat if there is. I'm pretty sure I've been told, but I probably forgot. Thank you, Kami, for subscribing with Prime as well. I just saw that. Thank you very much indeed. does genuinely help us out. No formation lap. Okie dokie. Is it a rolling start or standing start? That is also a good question. I definitely read all of the rules and regulations. Do apologise again for the clapping, there's literally nothing I can do about it. But I don't know how annoying it is. It's probably more annoying for me than it is for anyone else. Thing is, it's just on a loop, and I don't know why there's no, like, crowd sounds. It's weird. It's a weird thing to not have, like, an option to turn crowd sounds off. Especially if it's the same looping audio track. It probably comes with the circuit, it's probably why it's a bit crazy. So... And it is a standing start. That's good. Standing start. No formation lap. 15 laps to come here. Oh boy. Some carnage is about to unfold here. As we head for the 6 red lights. 15 laps stand between 22 drivers and their first race victory in GT4. It's lights out. And we're underway for our first race this season. And Scrub with an awful start. Doesn't get off the line at all. Sorry, it's Morris with an awful start. Doesn't get off the line at all. Edgen does get off the line well as we're heading down into turn 1. As it is 3 abreast for most people. It's 4 abreast for some people. As we break into turn 1. Can everyone make it in one piece? There's someone completely off the circuit. There's a big spin at the back between someone. As he spins. Oh, he's taken out a few cars with him. As it is all carnage off the road. Edgen does lead from Scrub. MKL Raid is battling with 7 now for P4 as Raid just blocks him out there. And as I suspected, carnage into turn 1 as Scrub under increasing pressure from MKL. MKL is going to go for it here. Up the inside, down the long back straight. Can he get him into the 90-degree corner? He's already alongside him. He's already ahead. But he's now into the braking zone. Who's later on the brakes? It's Scrub, and Scrub getting the better line, and he's still ahead. As 7 is under pressure from Morris now, who didn't go anywhere off the line. He was basically stationary off the line. As we've already got someone in the pits, I think that's Striker Boy. I think that was the car that was off the road, and he is, I think, retired from the race. But it's all going off here at the start of the race. A few people further back. Soggy Bread is currently in 15th. He's battling with a few cars. But at the front of the grid, it is chaos as suspected. And there is changes towards the back of the grid. Holfiller, Misty are battling for P13. Remember, every position up to 20th will get a point. There's someone off there. It's Mike off in the background. He's now down into 20th place. Pocket is now in front as well. So Pocket in the last points paying position as it stands. Mouse is putting Mouse putting Ari under pressure. Can Mouse go all the way around the outside as Vlad goes around the outside of Jacob? Mouse can't go around the outside. Ari blocks him off. Vlad is ahead of Jacob. Jacob now into P10 in the Mercedes-Benz. Keeping up with all this chaos as Edgen is leading comfortably. Well, not comfortably, I should say, by a second at the moment. Suggy around the outside there. Lovely move on Misty. Hole Filler is falling back as well. As Jacob can have a good run here on Vlad as we ride on board. He's now going to pull alongside him here. You can see from the top of his car, he's not exactly alongside him. Is he going to be later on the brakes? Is he going to be braver? Is Jacob going to get the move done? He can't get it done into that corner as we now return to the front of the grid with a battle for the last podium position as Raid gets all out of sorts out of the corner, but it's a brilliant exit. And now can he get the run on MKL that he needs to get into the braking zone? He's in the McLaren. Can he get that straight line speed that he needs desperately to pull a move and pull alongside? He looks to the outside line now. There's nowhere on the outside at the moment. MKL doing a great job defending his position, but he goes wide, and Raid is not going to need a second invitation as he pulls directly in front there, and Raid into the final podium position as Jacob and Vlad swapping places again as Alonso Thunder gets past Misty. But also runs wide himself. Lucas running wide there. Holfiller getting past. Stouty also getting past. And Pocket up the inside. Also around the outside of the McLaren driver of Mike. Can he get in front of him? He can't. His car's very dinged up. It must have been from the incident at the start of the race. As we return towards the front of the grid with 7 catching up to MKL. As Alonso Thunder is still battling away with Misty. Can he go up the inside here? There's no room at all. But he's left a little gap open, allowing for Holfiller to go up the inside. He's now ahead. He's now wheel to wheel with him. He pulls just directly ahead. But Alonso Thunder not going to give this one up easily. He's now on the outside angle. Can he keep it all around the outside? What a brilliant move. He can do all that off. He hits the wall and he spins round and he's into the wall. And people are trying to avoid him and there's a big crash towards the back of the grid. Alonso Thunder is definitely out of this race. Surely he's got to return to the pits, as that was a big collision there. You could just see he was not going to have the mechanical grip to hold it around the outside, but he tried it anyway, and we appreciate it. But he did not make that move stick, as here comes 7 to get MKL. MKL been struggling since he got a brilliant start. He has not gone as fast as he wants to. His engine sets the new fastest lap of the race, as Scrub was just beginning to catch him there. As Misty is also falling back, he's gone wide, Misty into the final corner. He's having to pull back onto the circuit. And he's lost a lot of positions there. Jacob is battling with Door as well. Jacob under increasing pressure, as you see Vlad going quite wide in front there. Jacob battling wheel to wheel with Door. As we head down into turn 2. Can he keep in front of him there? At the moment, it doesn't look like he can. He's just losing out, and he just loses out, and he's now behind him. As we return to Stouty and Holfiller, as Stouty tries to go around the outside, similar to what Jacob did. Can't do it as we ride literally on the bonnet here, and he gets a really good slipstream. Holfiller doing a great job of defending, but can he defend for too much longer? Looks like he's given up the position as Stouty into P14. But it looks like Holfiller is still fighting him back, can't fight him into the 90-degree corner. As we now head towards even further back on the grid, as it's a double overtake. It's a bit of a cheeky one as well, as W Mike hits him on the way through. Lucas down into 20th place now. So Door, as we went to Door, he was quite off the circuit there. Don't exactly know what he was doing. As we now look at 7 here. He's currently chasing down MKL, who is, as I said, struggling, really struggling through that corner. Did not get the grip he needed, and he's going to lose directly out to him here. They're wheel to wheel through this section of the racetrack. It's a very difficult section to get right. As we now head to the braking marker, can they brake the latest? 7 brakes later than MKL does, and pulls directly in front of him. It's going to open a chance for Morris, who started on the front row, didn't go anywhere off the line, and is now into 6th, as he's trying to fight his way back up the order. MKL trying to put pressure on the car in front there. As Morris gets all out of shape on the exit of the final corner. That was almost catastrophic for his race, as the race lead is also looking to change shortly. Stouty goes up the inside here. Can he now keep it up the inside of Holfiller? This is for P14, but every position matters, and he just can't keep the mechanical grip good enough, and he stays where he is. There's a big battle going on for P4. 7, MKL and Morris all involved here in the battle for 4th place. Yeah, Morris, once again, brilliant qualifying session for Morris as Stouty retires in the pit lane. But yeah, Morris didn't go anywhere off the line. Can MKL find a way past? 7 doing a great job of defending. He pulled to the inside to cover off MKL. MKL now forced to the outside line. Who's going to break the latest? It looks like it's going to be MKL, but no, 7 breaks really late and pulls just ahead. MKL now having to defend from Morris behind. Brilliant battle between these 3 right now for P4. It is allowing the top 3 to pull away from the rest of the field, but they were doing that without anyone's help. So lap 4 of 15, this race flying by here. There's Misty and Lucas battling for P18. Lucas losing out to Misty. Misty down the inside gets into P18. So we return to the battle for 4th. This is the closest battle on circuit at the moment. This is the battle for the most points as well at the moment. Lucas and Misty keep swapping positions. We're keeping an eye on this battle. Scrub is also trying to close the gap to Edgen, but every time he gets within about 9/10 of a second, Edgen just pulls that bit further ahead. It's going to be very interesting to see if Scrub can really be a challenger to Edgen in this race. We obviously don't want a runaway championship. That's the last thing we want. So let's hope we can get some clean racing. These three are putting on some clean racing at the moment. Seven's just pulled a bit away from MKL now, so he's going to be under increasing pressure from Morris as we ride on board with Morris now. Can he get the straight line speed? You can see Morris not having as much straight line speed as MKL does, as Edgen sets another fastest lap as he begins to pull away from Scrub. Morris late on the brakes now, but not late enough. He gets a decent exit out the corner. Both running a bit wide there, but keeping it all nice and neat. Morris brakes a bit earlier to get a better exit, get the power on a bit earlier. And as we head down the long back straight before the 90-degree corner, can he have a chance of pulling alongside? No, not at the moment. Just that straight line speed advantage really helping MKL out. He's also still getting slipstream from 7 in front of him. Morris having to do a hard job. Obviously, he made his job even harder by not going anywhere off the start, as he has a big tank slapper there and almost loses the back end of the car. But he's back under control and into 6th. So, 2 cars in front of him run really wide off that line there. They do normally run wide there, but not that wide. But they're now back in a straight line, as there's a few gaps forming up and down the grid. The main one forming towards 3rd and the rest of the field. Raid running a very lonely race as it stands in 3rd place. 10 laps to go here, and there's still a lot to be decided. Ari, on the other hand, is closing in on this battle for 4th. It's going to be 7th down to 4th, battling for 1 position. That could be getting even more chaotic, with Mouse not too far behind either. Jacob's still interested in dealing with Vlad, that's for P9. Door also interested for getting into that top 10. Then Fake running a really lonely race, currently in P12, with Soggy Bread trying to close him down. And everywhere else, this gap's forming. Scrub is within about 1.2 seconds of Edgen out front. He will be looking to take his first race victory. As Morris, as I say that, swapped to him. He's run really far wide there, and he's off the circuit, and he's lost not only 1, not only 2, but 3 positions there. He's down to P8, and luckily he didn't get caught by Vlad as well. That's a huge mistake from Morris, as he's fallen down the order now into P8. Again, started on the front row, made that mistake off the line, and he did not go anywhere, and now he's just going backwards. He's got a lot of work to do now, as this battle for 4th has become between Ari and MKL now, as MKL losing speed to 7, and Ari just closing in as we speak. So, returning to the battle for the front of the grid, about 1.3 seconds separate these 2 drivers, which isn't really anything. Lap 6 of 15. Scrub closing down as much as we can to try and catch the ever increasing gap at the front of the grid. About 1.2 seconds still separate these 2. As we see the battle between Vlad and Jacob. I think Vlad must have gone wide. Jacob pulling up the inside, not needing, again, a second invitation. As Door also closing in on this battle for P9, 10, and 11. So Vlad within Vlad within 8/10 of Jacob. Door within 5/10 of Vlad. All keeping at about the same gap to each other. Door is the closer of the drivers. Vlad now dropped down to a 2nd. He really wants to try and keep within that range of Jacob. The slipstream effect will help him. Scrub almost under a second here behind Edgin. Scrub really pushing in his Audi to try and catch the BMW of Edgin. But a big ask as Scrub runs a bit wide there, but still gets a decent run. He's lost a bit of time, but not as much as sure Edgin was hoping for, as he's now on to lap 7. Dor, the closest one on track at the moment to another driver. He's within 0.6 seconds, sorry, 0.4 tenths of a second. I was right the first time. I should have carried on speaking. Anyway, Dor now with 4/10 of a second here as he looks to catch Vlad. This is for position. This is for P10 as we ride on board with him here. Can Dor find the move into turn 1? He's a bit too far back, I would imagine. I'm sure Vlad's hoping he didn't go for the move there. Early braking from Dor, a lot earlier than Vlad does. And Vlad does run wide for his troubles, but not wide enough to cause himself a little problem. Oh, and Vlad broke really late there. Vlad definitely outbroke himself, and Dor is not going to have an easier overtake this afternoon. Vlad, you can just see from on board, way too late on the brakes. Can't be making too many of those mistakes. But Vlad now lost 2 positions for braking too late. Brake earlier, Vlad. How hard can it be? As we return to Ari now, as he's closing this gap to MKL. MKL had a very interesting race. He got a good start. He was battling for a podium, then lost it to Raid, then lost out 4th to 7, and then was battling with Morris for a while. Morris falling back now to down to 8th, as Ari is the one now challenging MKL for 5th. And right now, the gap at the front, about 1.5 seconds. It's been steadily around 1.4, 1.5 seconds. Not really improving too much. It has been under a second before, but it didn't stay that for very often. I think Edgin just keeping Scrub at arm's length here. Doesn't really want to be, well, basically hurting his tyres too much, and doesn't really want to be killing his own momentum by making a silly mistake. Seen what that can cause. Vlad lost 2 positions just due to outbraking yourself in a couple of positions. It can really happen. And Scrub once again about 1.2 seconds here. It looks like Edgin's getting a bit of weaving there. A bit worried about the ever closing Audi presence behind him, running that DRC livery on top of his car. Lovely jubbly. Got to rep the advertisement. Remember, if you're not followed to DRC, please do hit us to follow. It does really, genuinely help us. And you'll get to see more amazing races like this. As Edgin runs quite wide there. And it's the gap now, 0.6 of a second. And Scrub is not going to want a better chance as he really starts to close in on Edgin here. And he's properly closing in now. He's going to ride on board with Scrub now. This is his opportunity to take the lead of the race. Lap 8 of 15. There's not going to be too many chances to catch Edgin out. And late braking from Scrub here. Edgin goes a bit wide. He's going to open the door now for Scrub. And Scrub is wheel to wheel with Edgin. They're wheel to wheel up the hill. Scrub on the inside, Edgin on the outside. Can Edgin keep around the outside? He can't. And Scrub takes the lead of the Road America circuit here, ahead of Edgin. But this race is far from done, as Raid will be licking his lips at this battle in front of him. Any carnage that happens between these two, and he will capitalise on it. And Scrub making a little mistake there, running a bit too wide. Doesn't want to make too many mistakes with Edgin behind him. But that is a big move from Scrub, and that's a big, big change in the race lead. But Edgin definitely not given up yet. He's about still 3/10 of a second behind Scrub. A slipstream effect from Edgin is really helping him. Can he have a chance of overtaking him round the outside here? Is there a chance of a move around the outside? We saw the mechanical grip needed to do a move, and he's lost a lot of time there, Edgin. He did not have the mechanical grip. The car basically gave out of him as Soggy Bread gets past Fake. Fake dropping down to 13th now. As you can see, Vlad within 5/10 of a second, but Edgin now down to almost a second gap. But Scrub makes a mistake and runs a bit wide. This race is going down to the wire. Lap 8 of 15. as Fake and Soggy Bread. Soggy Bread, I think, has made a mistake there. He's lost a couple of positions. He's now down to 15th. We're going to return to the front of the grid with Edgin battling Scrub. And they both run wide, and Raid is definitely keeping an eye on this battle. If these two battle too much, as you can see, Raid is closing up. The gap was 3 seconds. It's now 2.1 seconds. Now down to 2. This is going to be possibly a 3 car battle for the lead in our first race. Edgen looking around the outside, can't find the room. 0.8 of a second. Oh, and Scrub runs wide. Scrub runs wide. That's going to give a huge opportunity to Edgen. Can he dive up the inside? He can't. There's not enough room. And Scrub defends as well. And he keeps ahead of Edgen. But Raid is now 1.4 seconds behind. They're really closing in on this battle. 7 also trying to push. You can see he's ramming it around that corner to try and catch up to the rest of the field. Edgen within 0.2 of a second of Scrub, keeping it nice and neat here. 0.3 of a second now. It's down the back straight. He's got that slipstream effect. He's got the straight line advantage. Can he get him to the brakes? Now, this is where it all went wrong for Edgen on the previous lap. Is he going to try up the inside this time? He's surely not close enough for a dive bomb. You might think of one. He's not going to do it though. But Raid now within under a second, and this battle for the lead just got even more entertaining as two-car battle turns into a 3-car one, and 7 even interested as well, about 2.8 seconds behind. This was never going to be an easy victory. It wasn't going to be a walk-away victory for Edgen. It wasn't going to be a walk-away victory for Scrub when he took the lead. And it may not be a victory for either of them if Raid can get involved. And here comes Edgen now. This is Edgen's best opportunity he's had to retake the lead. We're on to lap 10 of 15. 5 laps remaining here. As Edgen, he does look up the inside. Can he dive into the inside? He's already ahead of the corner. And he doesn't need to dive because he's made the corner. But can he brake perfectly late enough? He does. He brakes perfectly and still ahead of Scrub. Scrub now behind. But can he go back up the inside here into turn 2? Edgen's got to keep it nice and close. But he can't do it. There's a bit of wheel shake as now Raid's involved in this battle. And we can ride him board with Raid here. He's got a really good chance, a double slipstream. Can he even get Scrub here for P2? Raid was settling for P3 before this battle kicked off, but he's now got an opportunity for the race lead. And Scrub so late on the brakes, he's going back for the lead of the race. He's dived up the inside. Edgen's lost not only 1 but 2 positions here as now Raid going around the outside of Scrub to take the lead of the race. He's got not only 1, he's got 2 cars in the space of 1 corner. And Raid, Scrub and Edgen pulling off quite the battle here at the road of America. What a race we have on our hands for our first taste in GT4 racing. And Raid is now the centre of this battle. He's leading here after running 3rd for most of this Grand Prix. Sorry, most of this race. Edgen, Scrub and Raid separated by less than a second. Scrub now not willing to let this race lead go. Can he get back up the inside of Raid? He's got a good exit. He's alongside him. Can he brake late enough to get ahead into the corner? They're wheel to wheel. They're going to bang wheels. They don't. Scrub up the inside. He's made the move stick. He's still wheel to wheel with Raid. They're alongside each other. Edgen looking to get involved too. A Scrub around the outside gets him. And Edgen around the outside of Raid. Scrub trying to block him off as well. Does not want this to turn into quite the chaotic battle it is ensued to. 7 now close to this battle as well. Here comes Edgen to try and take them both into turn 1. As Scrub got a good slipstream. They can't go 3 wide. It's not possible into turn 1. Scrub is going to lose out here and Raid down the middle of the circuit. It is 3 wide into turn 1. Edgen on the outside. Raid in the middle. Scrub on the outside. It's all going to cause carnage into turn 1. Somehow they don't collide into each other. They're all still wheel to wheel. It's still 3 wide, but Raid somehow coming out on top. And now 7 diving down the inside of Edgin. He can't make the move stick. A 3-car battle's turned into a 4-car battle now. On lap 11 of this amazing GT4 race we've had going on. This is incredible as Raid is now under increasing pressure, but Edgin now trying to get back at Scrub. Edgin round the outside. Can he pull round the outside of Raid? He's gone way too deep into that corner. He's going to lose his position to Scrub, which he does. 7 now looking to get back at Edgin. He does dive up the inside. Is he close enough? He is. And he's gone alongside him there. And Edgin just defends enough to push 7 wide. 7 was also content with his position, but now anything can happen as Raid is pulled about a 9/10 gap, the biggest gap we've had at the lead of the race for quite some time. As somehow all drivers are facing the right direction. Still here on lap 11 of 15. And you can see in the background, MKL is also wondering, oh, can I get involved in this battle? It's going to be possibly a 5-car battle for the lead of the race. There is a back marker in front of them. He will get out of the way, I'm sure. As Scrub Scrub putting increasing pressure on Raid, who became your race leader about a lap or so ago. That is a back marker in front of Raid. He will have to pull out of the way of these race leaders. There's a lot of them coming. And it's cost Raid a bit here, and it's going to cost Raid a lot as Scrub goes around the outside. The back marker getting involved in this racing. He's pulled to the right side now. Oh, Edgin's lost it. Oh, he's held it just. But that was almost catastrophic for Edgin. He's lost another position. The back marker costing Raid, and it may have cost him the race victory. And somehow they still don't collide. The back marker, I think it's of Striker Boy, getting in a huge way there of everyone. Raid may have lost a race victory because of it. Edgin gets past him. And now MKL's getting involved as well. He's just behind this pack. And Raid's got to do his damnedest now to try and get Scrub. As 7 has pulled himself into a podium position. And he's chasing down P2. MKL is past the back marker, and he now chases down Edgin as Fate gets past Pocket towards the back of the grid. But yeah, this race is definitely not over yet. We've had some incredible battling there. Ari's even near this front of this fight. As Edgin, who started a few laps ago in the lead of this pack, is now in basically the back of it. He's in 4th. He's behind 7. And he's behind Raid. And he's definitely behind Scrub, who's in the lead after the back marker blocking Raid. So lap 12 of 15, Scrub has pulled a 1.7 second advantage, 1.8 now, as Scrub really pulling out his lead. This is what he needed, and now 7 is the one putting Raid under pressure for P2. I wonder how much that back marker put Raid out of his rhythm, because he was running a great race. He was leading it before that back marker got involved. And now he's got to regain his composure. He might not be able to get Scrub now. Scrub is pulling off into the distance. Raid's got to worry about 7 at the moment. About 0.7 seconds behind him. So we head on to lap 13. Unlucky for some. Will it be unlucky for Raid on this occasion? Edgin is still in the hunt for a podium here, as MKL is not involved in this battle. He's just dropped back a bit. Do apologise for the coughing. I haven't spoken like this in quite some time. Ed, on the other hand, about 4/10 behind 7. This is to take the P3 position. He's not close enough yet on this occasion, but he is closing in. He's going to take back that podium position that he probably deserves. He led this race for a long old time before the battle with Scrub, and then obviously the ensuing battle with 7 and Raid. So here comes Edgin. Can he go around the outside now? This is a huge opportunity for Edgin to get back into his podium. This is round the outside of 7. Who will break the latest into this 90-degree corner? It will be 7, or will it be Edgen? 7 hits the curb on the inside. Edgen's still around the outside. He's got 2 wheels on the grass at the moment. They bang wheels. First time we actually saw this afternoon, of the banging wheels. And he's actually brought MKL back into the picture. He's only 7 tenths behind now. As 7 dropping back from Raid, who is still dropping back from Scrub. Scrub, at the moment, going to be winning this race on lap 13. He's got 2 more laps to hold off the rest of the field. As 7's got 2 more laps to hold off Edgen. Easier said than done. And we'll see who is going to come out on top in this battle. Edgen, as I said, leading this race for a long time. Started on pole position. He lost the lead to Scrub and then lost his second to Raid. And then lost his third to 7 after almost spinning out. But he goes up the inside now. This is it. This is the take back for third. They bang wheels. Edgen goes ahead. And 7 is not going to give up that easily. They're still alongside each other here. They both got to be careful not to lose out to MKL. Oh, they both tap each other. Oh, it's 7's round. 7's round for hitting the back of Edgen's tyre. And almost gets wiped out by Ari there. 7 losing a few positions. He's now down to 6th. And Edgen and I'm sure 7 are going to be looked at for that investigation. But I think that's a racing incident. MKL, though, got a perfect opportunity now to secure P4, but even secure a podium finish. Raid, on the other hand, still having a chance of a race victory. He's closed the gap to 1.4 seconds. There is still a chance he might get Scrub, but Scrub has been superior since the battle ended as Fate gets past So Great. We haven't seen a lot of the field for the rest of this fight because it's just the fight at the front has been so intense for the rest of everyone. Morris was about one second behind 7. Obviously, 7's spin. He's going to be disappointed he won't be getting that podium this afternoon, but I'm sure he will bounce back come our next race. We'll be doing interviews with the top 3 after the race has ended, so don't go away. As we don't know who the top 3 is going to be. Well, it looks like it's going to be Scrub at the moment with Raid in 2nd, but I don't know if we can see MKL possibly finish on the podium here. He's got to catch Edgen. He's got another lap to do it. He does run a bit wide there. He's really trying to push to get this position done. Maybe he can stick by him depending on the outcome of the incident between 7 and Edge. And I do personally think it's a racing incident, so we won't see anything of it. So, and I want to get the move done on track. So we're on the penultimate lap here. Raid still chasing down Scrub for P1. Scrub been doing brilliantly since the end of the 4-way fight for the lead. That moment they went 3 wide into turn 1. Somehow they all still face the right direction. Raid now dropped down to 2.3 seconds. The gap for P3 to about 1 second now. So looks like we're not going to be getting any battle for the final podium position. As Pocket is trying to find his way past Soggy Bread, doesn't do it on this occasion. So as we look at Scrub now, he's on a final approach for the penultimate lap ending and heading on to the final lap here. Across the line to begin the final lap of the race. Scrub leading. He took the lead from Edgen as Edgen sets the fastest lap. He's not done. He wants this 2nd place. He wants Raid's 2nd place, and he has a chance of getting it. As Soggy Bread, Fake, and Pocket are battling for P15 at the moment. They are wheel to wheel as it stands. Pocket trying to squeeze him, and Soggy Bread's using Pocket's. Pocket loses out. But Edgen, he's come alive on this last lap. He wants his P2 back. He won't be getting P1, but there is a possible chance he might get a P2 if he's lucky. It's going to be quite the last lap overtake if he can do it. But where will he do it? Got to be impossible to find a way past here. But Edgen is making the impossible happen. 5 tenths between himself and Raid now. Four tenths now. How hard will Raid defend this second place. I'm sure he'll defend it really hard, but Edgen might not be willing to let him hold this position for much longer. With less than half a lap to go, it's Raid's P2 to lose and Edgen's to gain. MKL can also gain in this if it all goes wrong for these two. Where can Edgen find a way past? Scrub at the moment, he's just loving this battle in his rear view mirror. He's like, oh, they're not battling for P1, that's great. But Raid all over the road to try and defend Edgen. Can Edgen dive up the inside here? He's going to look for it on the final lap. Raid blocks him as much as he possibly can, but he's got to give him a little room. Edgen down the inside. Can he make the corner stick? He does. Raid tries to keep it around his outside. He's done it to some degree. Raid's still alongside Edgen here. He's not giving up this P2, and he pulls directly back in front. Can Edgen find his way past? He's got one final corner to do so, and he now has to dash to the line. All of his Raid gets all out of sorts. It's now Edgen versus Raid to the line, and Edgen's going to do it. Edgen is pulled directly in front and takes the lead, takes second place just over the line. And Edgen finishes just ahead of Raid. MKL finishes fourth, but the man of the hour is our race victor, Scrub, who finishes the first race of GT4 with a victory. Edgen in second, Raid just losing out on that second on the final lap of the race. Disappointment for him. MKL gets a fourth, Ari with a fifth, Seven finishes in sixth, Morris in seventh, Mouse in eighth. Jacob will finish in P9 with Door rounding out your top 10. And there is still a battle going on towards the back. And Pocket find his way past Soggy Bread on the last lap of the race. Similar to the way Edgen did. Vlad is going to finish P11. They're all over the road, these two. Pocket's P11. Holfeller will finish in P12. As Pockets is run very far wide indeed to try and get past Soggy Bread. Holfeller in P12. P13 goes to Stillo. P14 will go to Fake. And P15 will go to Soggy Bread with Pockets finishing in P16. W Mike will finish P17 with Lucas in P18, and Misty will finish P19 with Striker finishing a lap down. But we will now head to the interviews of the Road America. If you top three want to jump into the cooldown room, that'd be awesome. So that would be obviously Edgen, Scrub, and Raid. If you guys want to jump into the cooldown room for me, and I will drag you in. If I can just grab what is the screen for the driver interviews, it's that one. Yay, I can remember buttons. So if we want to just grab the top three for me to get into the cool down room. And Edge and Raid really close across the line. There's nothing between those two. And just waiting for the top three to get into the cool down room for me. And then we will get in. So we'll bring in the P3 finisher. Where is that one? Is that one? Raid.
Yes.
So P3 at the end of the race. It looked like you were going to get the race victory. It looked like you were going to get P2 and just nicked it right at the end. But crazy, almost four-way battle for the lead of the
Yeah.
race there.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, you win some, you lose some, but I guess I didn't win or lose anything. So, we take these. I'm
So
happy.
So for a lot of that race, you were sitting in the podium. You were sitting in P3, and obviously you must
Yep.
have seen Scrub and Edgen starting to fight. And did you think at that point, I can have a go at these two here. I can try and get past them. And you did at one point. And what was it? Just a back marker blocked you for a bit, and you just lost your momentum to try and keep up
Yeah,
with
that's
Scrub.
probably where I lost the race win and then the P2 as well. But it's a tricky situation for the blue flag there as well. But it was fun to see them battle and then joining in as well. It looked for me at least very epic. So
Yeah,
let's
it was.
hope it looked like that as well.
It was. It was really like the three of you driving down into turn one, somehow not colliding into turn one, you all kept it pretty clean from our point of view anyway. I don't know how it was on board, but
Yeah.
but yeah, no. So that was our first race. Our next race in the championship will be at Daytona. Have you driven that track yet in these cars?
Not in these cars, but it's also I'm assuming it's a road course, so it's I haven't driven that as well, so we'll see.
See, well,
Should be fun.
thank you, Raid, for joining us. Congratulations on your P3 finish.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
Thank you. And
Hope to
we'll,
see you next week.
yeah, I'm sure we will. Um, I'm just gonna grab in Edgin now. Edgin,
Hello, hello.
P2, my friend, just got it on the line. Never doubted you at all. But yeah, let's talk about that race. So you put it on pole, dominant fashion on pole by about 5/10 of a second. Um, and then you held the race for a lot of it. And did you expect Scrub to have as much race pace as he did? Because he was rapid trying to catch up to you.
From the practice we did together, yeah. It was good.
Yeah, so he caught
Yeah.
up to you, and then obviously you two started battling for a long time, and then Raid caught you as well. And then obviously that moment three wide into turn one, a few errors from all three of you, and it kind of all ended up with you further back, but just getting Raid on the line as well.
I mean, that was a very risky one. If he didn't have the little slip that he had right at the end, I don't think I would have gotten him. And
Yeah,
then if the finish line was a bit later, he would have gotten me.
yeah. And would you say the back marker was the issue with losing that race, or did you feel like you had another issue there?
No, I mean, we were all kind of fighting for position. I felt confident about being able to get ahead a little bit.
Mm.
And then, was it Striker? I think it was Striker Boy. He
I think it was
appeared out of
Striker,
nowhere.
yeah. Yeah, because Striker was
Yeah.
in front of you three, and he managed to block Raid, and then Scrub ran the outside. But yeah, when you went three wide with yourself, Scrub, and Raid into turn one, obviously Raid in the middle. I think you were on the outside and Scrub was on the inside, or the other way around. Was there? It looked pretty clean from our point of view. Was there any touching there, or did you manage to keep it three wide into turn one and two?
No, there was no touching. I think I even took an inner line, going a little
Nice.
bit on the grass to give some space to Raid as well. I think it was in the silver McLaren.
Well, it was brilliant
Uh,
racing. We go to Daytona next. Are you looking forward to that track?
uh, I dislike it, but we'll see what goes. I
Was-
don't like the. It's very fast. It's a very fast track. I think it's the only track where you can actually use the seventh gear on these
Okay.
cars. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Well, thank you, Regin, for joining us. It was very entertaining from our point of view. So, congratulations on your first P2 finish in the season.
Cheers, mate.
And now we'll bring in the race leader into the com box. Started third, finished P1. Scrub, how was that? That was that
Mate,
was that was pretty madness.
that was one of the best races I think we've ever had
It
in terms of
was,
the close battling.
yeah.
These cars are phenomenal. They really are. I do have to dedicate my win to Striker Boy, Mr. Blue Flags. I definitely did not utilize him and go around the outside of Raid and pin him in, but
Well, it was a brilliant move around the outside, but let's talk about some of the moments in that race. So you started P3.
yep,
You got straight past Morris, who didn't move off the line from the
yes,
start of that race. I don't know what if there was an issue there. Um, but yeah, no. Then you sort of kept edging at arm's length for a lot of the race, and then eventually you pounced and got past him. But then you had a proper wheel-to-wheel battle. Raid got involved. You ended up three wide into turn one at one point.
yeah,
And then when you got past Striker, you just went. You just had the rhythm, and you were straight ahead of everyone else.
yeah, pretty much. I knew that they'd end up battling a little bit behind me, so I sort of just took advantage of all the chaos that I was leaving behind in
Yeah.
my wake and kind of just checked out. Yeah, would have been nice to continue the battles because it was great, but yeah, I think if that hadn't have happened, I probably wouldn't have taken the dub today.
Well, somehow you all managed to keep out of each other's way and not hit each other. The only major incident in that race was the first lap into turn one, but everything else was pretty actually normal. Um, but yeah, so we go to Daytona next. Is that a track you're looking forward to? Edge said it's very fast.
It is very quick. I've done like 8 laps total. It's good. I did those were just testing laps with the cars to make sure it was suitable.
Nice.
Um, yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Very quick, but we shall see how it goes.
well, congratulations on your first victory, the first victory in the GT4 World Series and the Americas Championship part. So thank you, Scrub, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
guys. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
And that is the end of our interviews. Thank you all for joining us for this first GT4 World Series race. I hope everyone enjoyed it, round one. We will be back on April 15th for round two at Daytona. And keep updated on all of the DRC stuff on the Twitch channel, on the Discord, which you can see on screen at the moment. Go check out our YouTube channel, go check out our Twitter, Instagram, all DRC Digital Racing Championship. So keep up with everything possible. Don't want to miss the stuff that's coming up. Obviously, we've got this, which is coming up. We've got our new season of F1 starting up very shortly as well. Pre-season will be underway tomorrow, so check back tomorrow for pre-season. So thank you all very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next race. Thank you, everyone.